Alright, what's up guys? This is Juna back with a new video and a cool new camera angle. Get the esports 45-degree angle. But anyway, I want to make this very quick video, kind of share a story. So what do top Japanese players think about top American players? So this is very rare because just Japanese culture in general is very polite, very indirect. You will rarely get a straight answer out of a Japanese person just because the culture does not work that way. But I did actually, last week, I ran into one of my friends, Minami. If you don't know Minami, he's very well known, very strong, multiple tournaments. I'm not going to go over his history, but just, he's a very strong, very old school Japanese player. And we got onto the topic of evolution. Are you going this year? And unfortunately, Minami will not attend. So I wanted to hear his thoughts on who did he think was a threat? Who did he think could compete with all of the Japanese players that are going to show up? So his first, right away, he didn't have to think about it, but he said, I think Bananaken. I think Bananaken is the strongest player. He's the most talented player in America, and he can do well against the Japanese people, or the Japanese players. So to me, that was honestly surprising because I thought he was going to say LK, but he said Bananaken. So why Bananaken? So he praised Bananaken's like creativity and his ingenuity. He said, yeah, Bananaken comes up with all these very new techniques and strategies that even Japanese players haven't figured out yet. Like he mentioned Kokonoi. He said, oh, I learned a lot of Kokonoi stuff from Bananaken. He didn't even have the game yet, and he was still figuring things out. He said it was very impressive. He also said he watched the old videos from Evolution 2 years ago in Persona. He said Bananaken's defense and his knowledge, he kept saying knowledge. Bananaken's knowledge was very, very impressive. He really understands the game. So that is the biggest compliment I guess you can get, is he understands the game. So after that, I said, why not LK? You don't think LK is strong? And he said, no, I think Luna is very strong, but I think he lacks confidence. That's kind of what he said. He lacks confidence. I said, really? Like, what do you mean? He said, I think LK looks up to Japanese players too much. He's trying to copy Japanese players instead of exploring the game himself and developing his own style. And I said, really? That's very specific. Why? And Minami shared a story. I don't know if it was last time LK was here or a couple times ago, but at the arcade, LK fought against Minami and LK got beat up, which is no problem, everyone loses. But he said, after the loss, LK came over and he asked me, he said, Minami, I want to become strong. How do I become strong like you? Something like that. And Minami said, why? He said, I was very confused. I didn't understand. Why was LK asking me how to become strong? He's my opponent. We should be on the same level. I don't know how to be. I can't tell you how to become strong because I'm still trying to become strong. That kind of looking up too hard to Japanese players, Minami thought would not get him very far. And then the last player he mentioned was actually SKD. So I said SKD is probably not going to Evolution. He was disappointed. He said, oh man, SKD could probably do very well against the Japanese players. He also just beat Dora, which is why Minami knows who SKD is. So I said, yeah, what do you think about SKD? And he praised SKD kind of the same way he praised Bananaken. He said SKD is very smart. He understands the game and he understands his character. So there's not many Izue players. Even in Japan, there's not many. So he said, the fact that he got so strong with such an underplayed character shows that he really thinks about the game. He really thinks about the character and comes up with his own techniques. He developed the character himself. I said, yeah, SKD is very strong and he's very young. Minami said, oh yeah, how young is he? And I said, I think he's 20. And Minami was shocked. He said, what? He's only 20 and he's that strong? Kind of like an aside, but if you guys don't know, the Capcom players are older, generally older than the anime players, but anime players are, even now, everyone is around mid-20s is about the average, and most of the stronger, like the gods, are late 20s. So Minami's 28. I'm not a god, but I'm 29. But so older, late 20s. So when I said, yeah, he's only 20, Minami said, what? He's only 20 and is that good? He's like America's Fenrich, which is another very big compliment. So if you're unfamiliar with Fenrich, he is the Jin god of Japan, one of the Jin gods. But he actually made a splash and he became very well known when he was maybe 15 or 16. I think now he's probably 18 or 19, but he's really, really strong. He hangs out, he beats up like Galileo and Dogura and Enel. He fights with all those guys at those arcades, and he's still ranked like #1 in arcades. So being called America's Fenrich is a pretty big compliment for SKD. Unfortunately, he won't be at Evolution. But yeah, that's it. That's all we talked about skill-wise about the American scene. I want to talk about that in another video, but he, like most players, he really loves American players and the American community, and he wants to go to EVO so bad, but he just cannot go this year. So yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I want to share some more arcade stories and some more things I learned about Japanese players. So if you want to hear more, or if you want me to find out anything specific or talk about something specific, let me know in the comments. I will do my best to answer your questions or find out the answers. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. So peace.